Welcome once again to the world according to Tone, where I sit around and do whatever the fuck I want. And that's definitely what's happening today on a Saturday. I've done my chores, well, minimally. I went to the comic book shop, got some comics, looked at some figures, didn't buy anything today. I'm trying to work on my debt, blah, blah, blah. Didn't stop me from buying this guy this week because I, moved some things around so I could buy him. I'll talk about him a little bit today too because I can't stop playing with him. But yeah, welcome. Hey, it's Saturday. It's a beautiful day here. I had an awesome Friday night. My parents came over. We had some drinks. We ate some pizza outside under the beautiful, beautiful weather that we got right now here in Michigan, and just kind of kicked it. And then when they left, I sat outside for another 2.5 hours drinking and listening to music on my new little Bluetooth speaker that I'm really excited about. So that was it. That was my Friday night. I tied one off and minimal hangover today, so that's always good. But I got up at a decent time also and made sure to get some things done. And again, top of that list was heading to Koi's Comics, the local comic book shop here, and get my comics. It's been a couple weeks, so it was a large bill. That's perfectly fine. But I had to get some of those X-Men and that Spawn. So today, we're just gonna hang out for a little bit. I've got Drasten here in the rafters. I clearly didn't transition properly as I'm still learning EV Mux, but let's get this guy here on as well. See if we can get him here. Oh, look at him. He's ready to get in here. He's ready to get in here. Welcome, buddy. What's up? Oh, he's still muted. Is he muted? He's muted. See, it's supposed to unmute when you do that.
Yeah, but you didn't there. Now it's on the right side.
We thrive in chaos.
We do. It's the basis for my entire campaign.
That's the basis for my life. So.
What's going on, man? Yeah.
Nothing, man. I'm literally just, like I said, my big responsibilities. I feel like I got like big things done today, and that was just going to, well, it's 2 stops. I mean, 3 stops. So first stop was Koi's to get my comics, and then I stopped at Popeyes because I am, a fanatic for Popeyes, and they got the chicken wraps.
So top tier.
They got the chicken wraps. They're so good. $9.99 for 2 chicken wrap flavors of your choice, and a delicious supreme flavored lemonade. And I got the blueberry lemonade, frozen even. So got a little frozen ice in there. And god damn, was that so good. And of course,
did you get the mac and cheese? I can't go there without getting the mac and cheese.
So I like mac and cheese, but I'm not always like, that's enough carbs as it is. Like if I go mac and cheese, like super pasta and carbs like that, it's going to make me sleepy, and I got to be real careful of that. So, because it will. But I did get biscuits, because biscuits to me, I even told the guy at the window, I'm like, hey, man, are these like crack? And he's like, yeah. And then he's handing them out to me. So I'm like, sweet.
So I'm curious, how do you eat your biscuit from Popeyes?
Well, if I'm at home, it's a crap. I'm a 50-50 because I love honey. I'm a big honey fanatic. So sometimes I'll put honey on them.
I knew it.
Sometimes I don't. Why? What do you know?
Because I always put a big pat of butter on there, and then I like crack it open just enough, and then I fill it with honey, like a donut, man, just to the top.
Yeah, that's normally what I do, but because I pulled off to the side, and it's nice weather out, right? So I just rolled down my windows. I was talking to half-ass a little bit, and I just sat there in the nice little cool breeze and enjoyed sipping on my blueberry lemonade and eating some Popeyes. So I didn't put honey on them because it's already. I don't like eating in the car anyways because it's messy as hell. So like if I'm trying to do honey, I'm gonna look like Pooh Bear in there, just getting honey all over. So
sometimes you gotta take your pants off and just be Pooh Bear.
Yes. What is that? Shirt cocking now we call that. Yeah, that's it.
Shirt tails. What?
Yeah. So, but yeah. So I enjoyed my lunch. They're delicious. I can't advocate enough for. Listen, there's 2 fast food places that. And I try not to advocate too much for fast food because it's awful for you, right? And I'm already chubby as it is. But I advocate hard for Popeyes and I advocate hard for Burger King. And Popeyes is just one of those places for me, man. Like if I'm in the mood for chicken, it's normally going to be, I just want some Popeyes. I want a chicken sandwich.
Now, I'm actually a little surprised at that because, like, where's Little Caesars fit in that? Because I mean, they're technically fast food as well.
I see, but I put them in like a different category because it's like you can't just go through drive-through. You know what I mean? Like I just go through drive-through and pick it up. To me, that's the difference. Is that pizza? Yes, while a fast food type, is also something that I still have to manage with by going inside or having delivered. So
Okay, that's fair.
okay,
That's fair.
see what I'm getting at with that. So, but I digress. Anyways, the Popeyes is awesome, especially the new one we got near me. It's great. People are always awesome. But when I was done my lunch, the last thing I had to do was go pick up bird seed from Lowe's because my birds out here wrecked the food in a week's time. And we didn't have any more. So we filled up the bird feeder. We finally got a bird feeder out, and that was it. So I had to go get a 40-pound bag of bird seed for these fucking birds. They're gonna look like. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can get a hookup with Popeyes. Like if I can supply like
There you
the
go.
bird, then I'll get free
Yeah.
chicken sandwiches because these things are about to be fat out here. I'm telling you right
Now,
now.
did you put out like a hummingbird feeder? Do you have
We did.
hummingbirds?
So yeah, we do. Growing up, we always had hummingbird feeders. So we put up a hummingbird. We got one of those double shepherd hooks, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there's a bird seed feeder on one and then the hummingbird on the other. We haven't seen hummingbirds quite yet though. So I think that's because they take a while
They do.
to acclimate. So we got a pretty cool feeder. So they're there. So hopefully eventually at some point, and we got flowers all over the front yard, even though this is the back, like there's no reason why they shouldn't be here, but they're not here yet. So soon enough. But hey, I got a back patio area, and like I said, that's all that matters. And we can sit there like we were there having dinner earlier this week, and even last night with the feeder being empty, the birds were stink eyeing the shit out of me because of that. But they were coming up to the feeder, and they're only like 8 feet away, so that's cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So, well, hey, the big reason that you and I are sitting here today is because, well, first of all, you and I are the tea guys. I literally, you're the only person ever in my entire life that I know that drinks tea more than I do. I think for one, two, just that drinks tea in general. Like, and my mom growing up, she was the type of person that would drink a pot of coffee in the morning, come home from work, and then it was iced tea all night. And it was just simple. She'd take those like Nestea quick things and just put a spoonful in the glass, roundabout, and then boom, some ice. That was it. So
Yeah.
I've just always grown up with it. Now, we're also similar in the fact we fucking hate sweet tea. And if you hand me a sweet tea, I'm going to
Yep.
probably throw it at you or the wall. So don't ever do that. With that being said, one of the few exceptions are, and I don't drink them anymore because of the aspartame, but I went ham on Arnold Palmer's for years. And at some point, I just couldn't handle the flavor anymore. So I still have love for them, but my perfect way of having an actual Arnold Palmer is when you're at a restaurant and they brew their tea and they've got lemonade there. So it is sweet tea. I recognize that, but it's got the lemonade in it, so it's different because it's an Arnold Palmer. So to me in my brain how it works out, similar to Little Caesars, it's
Yeah.
not the same.
It's so tea is such a weird thing because like I drank tea my entire life, and as a kid, like I looked forward to summer because we didn't get tea through the winter, but sun tea all summer. There was
Oh God,
always a
yes.
jug of sun tea, and I freaking love sun. And I don't know how many BPAs or whatever it is I consume because of 1980s plastics that that drink was in sitting out in the sun, but I'm sure it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with my development disabilities. But
Right. Right.
but
Right.
but like the weird thing is, as a kid, I always drank sweet tea. Like we always put sugar in the tea. Like it was brewed as unsweet, and then when we got it, it was I remember getting the smiley face, have a nice day jar down of sugar, scooping it out and putting it in there. But there was definitely a point in life that I was like, I don't like this anymore. It's not refreshing,
Right.
and I drink 99.5% unsweet tea. I will say, if you're going to drink sweet tea, and I have a reasoning for this, McDonald's sweet tea is the better sweet tea. And that's because their ice and their water suck and their tea is not real great. So the sugar actually makes everything taste better.
It's weird, because they used to brew their tea. I don't know if they still do. Because I used
They
to drink their
do.
like normal tea a lot when I worked there because it was brewed.
They brew it, but and we call this cough tea. Sometimes they get it mixed up and brew it in the coffee brewer instead, and it has this hint of coffee taste to it that's pretty terrible.
So that's how they brew it. So they use this one of the same brewers where they do the coffee. If they don't clean the actual
they don't clean it.
They don't clean it.
Not here.
They don't.
So,
You know, it's funny. Somewhere I don't remember what it was yesterday. I was going to mention it. I saw somebody on Instagram, and I don't know if it was a pseudo like celebrity or somebody that was had been to or had gone through Middleton recently in your area, which was kind of interesting. I was like, that's fucking random
wrong
as fuck. What? Yeah, it's wrong to be in that area, but it's either way.
Well, there is that, but the pronunciation is
no, it's not wrong.
Wrong.
It is not wrong. So back to tea though, just generally, like, because when I go out for food, like, here's the thing: is like, I'm not like everybody when it comes to soda. Like, I do like enjoying soda from time to time, but when I'm having a meal, I want like something more water-esque. I don't want all the sweet. You know what I mean? Maybe after, like as a dessert, because sometimes if we have dinner and I got to go get her ice cream, I might just grab like a root beer or something, just for something fizzy or whatever. But like I don't need that sort of thing drinking. So typically I just aim towards tea. Now, what is awful is if you order tea at a place and you've never had tea before and you get it and it tastes like shit. So I've now listed around the area, even some of my favorite restaurants that I like to go to, they're local. I won't get the tea from because it just doesn't taste well. I can't do it.
And from a mainstream manufacturer of tea, I'm definitely a tea snob. Like, I like Lipton. I like Lipton tea. I do not like Louisiana tea. I think it tastes awful.
I don't think I've had it.
Even Gold Peak is got
Nest
a
tea
weird
Lipton. Nest tea or Lipton.
Yeah, so
that's pretty much it. I mean, it's the same way when it comes to the bottled. Like if it's it's got to be the Pure Leaf or I don't want it.
The Pure Leaf is good because I'm one that like I like my tea to look like I poured a Coke in the glass. I want it to be
like
I want it to be dark, you know.
Same way.
Don't
with my
give
coffee.
me this light stuff.
Yep, them same way with my coffee. So that all said, full circle. So recently, Coca-Cola has dropped a new Sprite flavor, which is the Sprite Tea. And it was hard. You got it before I did. We got it weeks after you did in our area. And then one of the buddies in the community said, "Hey, found this at my local Meijer here." So I was like, "Sweet. Well, I got to get in, and clearly I got to grab that." So, but the intention has been the entire time is when we find them, we were going to get on stream at least, and as the tea guys, try them out, right, and then go from there. So,
I'm
what do you think?
Immediately concerned because this is everything that I don't like.
I know that's
I am not a big fan of Sprite. I think Sprite has
really?
a bleach quality taste to it. Yeah, I don't think it's refreshing at all.
Oh shit, that's controversial.
It is. Pop in general, and that's one reason, like you were saying, like I don't like it in a meal.
Yeah.
When you drink pop, like your mouth gets coated, and I don't like that feeling of like that sugar thing in there. And then generally bottled mainstream manufactured tea, and I'm thinking like Brisk, like is not great.
Okay.
So now we're gonna take all that stuff and we're gonna give Bubbles and Sprite and tea.
Man.
I'm not expecting a whole lot, but that's where I'm at with this.
Well, I guess I mean if you want to leave, go ahead. I'll do it myself.
All right, good. Thank God.
Yeah. Well, fuck, he's gone. Well, fuck him then. Let's do it. Fuck it. We'll do it live. There we go. Not too bad. I'm just kidding. No. Very funny. So, yeah, I like Sprite. Matter of fact, I've never been a super fan. However, as I've gotten older, I've found that my taste has kind of changed a little bit on it because I really like lime, especially. So lemon lime things I've always liked, but never really so much Sprite. Matter of fact, I would say I leaned more of like the Sierra Mist. Now Starry, what the fuck? That's so stupid too. But now Starry.
Did you hear about why that is the way it is?
What?
It had something to do with some streamer getting pissed off at him and like trademarking the name. They hadn't trademarked it or something. Or like
they trademarked Sierra Mist.
Yeah.
And so it?
Yeah. There was some, you'll have to look it up. There's some kind of legal thing that happened. That's why they changed it to Starry.
That's pretty fucking interesting. I did not know that. So okay, well, there's that. So but anyways, I drank Sprite in the 90s only because Grant Hill drank Sprite. Because if there's one thing about me in the 90s is I was very impressionable, specifically by NBA players. So I loved Shaq's All Sport. That's why I got double decker tacos, because Shaq was a big fan of them. And clearly here the Sprite with Grant Hill. So my favorite all-time Piston. But all right, what do you say? You want to crack it open, give her a shot?
Let's crack it open.
And we're gonna do fancy. We're doing glasses. So that was my idea.
It's not your idea. Why do you always try to take credit for the few good ideas I have?
Because not a lot of comes from you, because I have so many great ideas.
It's true. Now opening it up, I got a little bit of fizz on the top. It looks like a freshly poured tea that popped out there.
Whatever.
It's pour from my invisible bottle into my glass. Oh, yeah. It's
green screen. Oh, I poured a massive glass. I don't know why I did that.
Look at that. It looks like a carbonated whiskey.
It looks like carbonated swamp water from where it looks. Well, actually, you know what? It looks like a ginger ale. It looks like Verner's.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sporting my my tumbler my wife got me. Drasten the Dungeon Master on there.
It smells like fucking Alka-Seltzer.
I'm glad I wasn't taking a drink right there. That would have been.
It smells like fucking Alka-Seltzer, dude.
Let's see.
All right.
I smell it. To me, it's like heavy Sprite.
Yeah, Alka-Seltzer. It's
with
like
this
popping in drink. All right. Are we doing little drink, big drink, right?
Yep, of course.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody. Okay, so basically Sprite made their Sprite out of water from Flint, and that's what we've got.
Come on, man.
To me,
everybody got the Flint joke.
Everybody. I mean,
it's on podcasts. I see like celebrities make jokes about it recently.
To me,
oh fuck,
I'm not getting much tea. It just tastes like a brown Sprite.
So I'll tell you. Yeah, it tastes like there's like, I guess I don't know what I expected. I don't hate it. First of all, I want to say that.
No,
it looks
not
like,
bad.
It looks like swamp water, or like a ginger ale. It smells like Alka-Seltzer. I don't know, man. Like,
I get this tiny hint of like that brisk tea type tea flavor in the finish.
It needs more tea. I think if it had more tea, I think it would be something that I would consider more. It does have, and maybe it was your kid that said it, like almost like it's a kind of like an Arnold Palmer.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of get that, but it needs more tea. It needs more tea. What you want to talk about the sugar real quick though? You pointed out,
dude. So we are sitting here, and I'm like getting all ready, and I'm just looking at the ingredients. I'm like, hey, yeah, no fat in it, and the normal amount of sodium and stuff. Then you get down to total sugars of 61 grams, and you're like, that's a decent amount, until you get to the next line. Included added sugars. Another 61 grams for pushing you at 123% of your daily value of added sugars.
Everybody get ready for that belch. I can feel it too.
What the heck?
There it is.
There it is.
You are welcome, world. You are welcome for that.
The belch cam.
Yeah, I should have zoomed in. Yeah, and if anybody hadn't seen the reel or the short out there from our roundtable Let's Set the Tone this last Wednesday, where we got on here, Drasten, Josh, and Dude, and talked about Last of Us Season 2. Drasten almost killed me in the conversation because he made some joke, and I wasn't prepared. And, I've been still kind of like got the last pieces of a cold for the last few weeks. So you said whatever you said, And I started laughing so hard, I started coughing because like phlegm was moving around. And then I realized, oh shit, I'm about to start choking. So I had to mute myself to be able to go off camera and mic and nearly die from your dumb joke that I thought was funny. And yeah, check
It's
it
all
out if
about
you
the
haven't seen it.
delivery.
Yeah, well, right. So I don't know. I think as far as the Sprite Tea though, would I get it again? Sure. Is it something I'm gonna reach for all the time? I don't think so. I do grab ginger ale more often than a lot of other sodas because I love Verner's and ginger ale just generally. Verner specifically, I guess. So it's kind of in that kind of weird lane where if I'm in the mood for it, and then I find myself being in the mood for it more often than not. But the difference between me and you is I actually like Sprite. I sometimes just want Sprite because I do think I find it very refreshing. But I think this would really do well if it had more tea in it. I think that would be sweet. Oh yeah, Comrade. He literally nearly killed me. Like if you look specifically when you guys watch that clip, if you zoom in, and I already zoom in on myself, there's a point where my eyeballs get big like a cartoon. Like I feel like I'm gonna I was like, am I gonna die on camera? But I was able to move the phlegm because I was like, I think I'm fucking choking. It was not an ideal experience, but it ended up turning out to make a enjoyable reel that everybody could laugh at me about. So I'm here for that, at the very least. So
yeah, I mean, if this was sitting there next to a normal Sprite, I would grab this versus a normal Sprite. It doesn't have that Sprite kind of coaty feeling in your mouth. I think the tea probably waters it down a bit.
Yeah.
I would say as it gets warmer, I'm getting a little bit more of that tea flavor in there, and the bubbles are like dying out real quick too.
All right, yeah, I feel like Sprites and stuff like that they do. This would be a great. I used to drink. This is gonna age me probably. Growing up was used to drink Bacardi Limon, and it's lemon lime. It's basically like a Sprite, and then I'd mix it with OJ or Sprite or both. This might be really good with like some form of like flavored like vodka
rum
or
or
something
bourbon?
like that. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe a rum or so. Actually, maybe a rum. Yeah. Now I'm kind of curious. I wonder what I got some stuff in the freezer. I should probably. Oh, my blackberry crown might be good with this actually.
It would be like almost like a poor man's Long Island, right? So like you could mix some stuff in there. Yeah.
Maybe that's what we should do next time we want to try this out. Just get really fucking hammered on stream making fake Long Island iced teas.
Lexi's trying it now. Let's see what she gets.
Uh-oh.
There's not a lot of tea.
She says not a lot of tea. It tastes like Sprite. It's just brown Sprite.
Big problem. It's brown Sprite.
It's not bad, but it
It tastes like Sprite. It tastes like if I took a drink of Sprite after drinking tea all day.
That's fair.
Ask her if she thinks it smells like Alka-Seltzer.
Do you think it smells like Alka-Seltzer?
I don't know what that smells like.
Oh, that checks out. What's it smell like to you?
Yeah. Smell its booty hole.
Sprite.
Smells kind of chemically.
And chemically Sprite.
Oh yeah, with all that sugar in it. Fuck yeah.
Did you see the additional sugars in it? Look at the additional
123%.
Yeah. This is the stream, everybody, where you watch me and Drasten get diabetes.
Diabetes.
That's right. Yep. I have to be eating my Quaker oatmeal tomorrow just to make up for it.
Yeah. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Right. Enjoy your sugar.
I think what they've put together here, and we need to do experimentation, and maybe that's step 2 of this whole thing, is this may be a good mixer.
I think this is step 2. Yeah, but you got to be careful too, because like I drink a lot of sweet liquors, which probably has a fuck ton of sugar anyways. So you're looking at like 204. Like we're gonna lose our feet on stream. We're gonna have a doctor come in here and amputate our foot as we drink this shit. Fuck that. No,
but I think that's what you could do with it. Like I wouldn't want to drink a lot of this just from a sheer sugar standpoint.
No. Nope. Awesome. Well, hey, there we go. We tried the Sprite Tea. We finally got a chance to get it in after 72 weeks of talking about it. So,
yeah.
I did want to go back to Sun Tea though. When you brought that up.
Yeah, Sun Tea's great.
So it is. I love Sun Tea. We grew up drinking that too, and it always sucked because if you had 2 people in the house that like that shit, you couldn't keep it around very. Yeah, it's gone. So I know I probably always pissed my mom off because I was always fighting for it. But from what I understand, I feel like I looked this up before, and I'm going to look it up right now. Because I always like, is Sun Tea, is that bullshit? Is that real? Why does Sun? Yeah, because it definitely has a distinct flavor, right?
It definitely has a distinct flavor, but the difference is when you're making normal tea. Cut out cold brew. Cold brew is not real tea. It's tea scraps that people pour water over.
That's fine.
And not that I won't drink it, but like of the flavor profiles, it's definitely the worst. I definitely drink it, but to make tea, you have to heat water up, typically boiling water, and pour it over the tea and do all that stuff. So Sun Tea, it's warming it up, but it's doing it at such a slower process that it just gives a different flavor profile. You don't release as much of the, what do they call those? I can't remember. They use it in brewing.
They're talking about it right now, so I just looked it up, right? So it's saying that because it's brewed at a lower temperature, which affects the extraction of the flavors and the overall taste profile, the slower, cooler sleeping process in Sun Tea leads to a milder, less bitter flavor compared to hot brewed iced tea. So it can extract more, and blah blah blah. Blah, blah, blah. Okay,
it's a tannins. Yeah, that's what
they're talking about the tannins.
Mm-hmm.
Like, aren't those? Isn't that the family from Full House?
That's the tanners.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
So in brewing, you don't want tannins because it's off flavors in the beer. So like, it has to do with the heat and all, and the length that you leave stuff in. So that's the reason.
So it's slowly. It's talking about how it slowly infuses into the water, creating a milder and less bitter taste compared to regular tea. But I like bitter tea. That's the thing. That's part of the reason why I like tea. It's just that Sun Tea, I think, has a little bit more of that refreshingness because of the way it is brewed, and you just want to like you just want to chug it. Like the whole.
But there's more to it too, because it's like Christmas in the summer. Yeah, because you look out the window and you see it there, and you're just like, oh man, in like 3 hours, I'm gonna destroy you.
It's like looking at your right. It's looking like your meat, like in the cooker or something, or the fucking grill or whatever.
Because you know it's out, and you're watching the color, and you're like seeing this light brown, and you're like, nope, I need more, and then it gets a little darker. No, more. It's like Kylo Ren. More.
No, nobody does that. Nobody does that. So that's I haven't made Sun Tea in a long time because you got to buy a bunch of I wonder if you can buy specific Sun Tea brew kit, because now I'm gonna want to do this. Now I'm gonna start thinking about it and obsess about it.
I mean, you got to go get a glass container that's got the spigot on the bottom, because that's necessary.
Hold up, I'm looking them up. Don't worry. Continue.
You can use gallon bags, the brew bags that are made for a gallon, and I think you only use like 2 or 3 depending on the size of your jug.
Here they are.
You got pretty big jugs, so you can make a lot of Sun Tea. Yeah. It's like the easiest thing to do, man. Though you just set it out there, and
I see it. You just pour water in your fucking thing. I'm looking at them right now, so I'm seeing like specific Sun Tea with a little spigot at the bottom.
Yeah, gotta have that.
Yeah. Okay. I may have to, consider get one brewing some tea. So I don't know.
I mean, as much as we like drinking tea, and it's definitely getting that season for that. Yeah.
It is.
Not a little UV can't fix.
Nothing a little UV can't fix. So this week, actually yesterday, and you still haven't watched it yet because you're a turd. You should have just stopped whatever you're doing last night, because I know I did. That Killer of Killers animated Predator dropped.
What's Predator?
Holy shit! What? Not Chris Hansen. Not you. You're a Predator.
No,
So, are you familiar with this? Did we talk about this? I feel we talked about it earlier. Yeah, you did a bit.
We talked. When am I not? Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. I actually forgot it was coming out. Because they're putting out the animated thing, and then we've got the movie coming out as well.
I didn't expect the animated thing to come out so fast. I was I don't know.
And I mean, you mentioned it a little bit when we were talking earlier about it, but like, I love the animated space for content.
Yes.
Because you pay the voice actors, and you can just do stuff that like on screen would be so freaking expensive to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a great medium for telling a story. And this is one thing, like I've told my wife, because I can't get her to view watching like an anime style or cartoon style of a show. She just feels like Saturday morning cartoons, right? And I'm like, no, you got to understand, like these things are emotionally deep.
A lot of adults
Like,
have that roadblock.
It is, and it's so weird. And like, weird. You want to send them to one of these shows that's like really good, right? You want so that their first experience is like, oh my god,
like a Vox
and it can't
Machina?
be. Vox Machina is really good. Like Castlevania on Netflix is very, very good. Mm-hmm. And just to show that like it's not Saturday morning cartoons as well. It's not for kids.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, even in that too, like that's like that the person that feels that way. That's such a weird stance to take on stuff. In my opinion.
It is
like, so what is it? So because it's like watching kid. So fucking what? I still watch. I mean, I watch like I go back and watch cartoons like fucking Darkwing Duck and Gargoyles. Shit, I was growing up with. I mean, Gargoyles is a little bit more darker, but like, you know what I mean? Like
Gargoyles hit on a completely different level.
Yeah,
though.
but like I love DuckTales, like all the Disney shit. Like if it's on, or even SpongeBob, which was later in my life, right, or mid part of my life, you know, I still enjoy watching SpongeBob. I don't give a fuck. I just like cartoons. You know what I mean? Like
I've watched a lot of SpongeBob.
Yeah, it's dumb and funny. Like I'm here for it. So it's weird to me when people take that stance, just generally, when it comes to animation, because it's like, well, this is for kids. So fucking what? So is getting a Happy Meal. And if I want a 4-piece nugget, and a little fry, and a drink real quick, and a toy, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna get it. I ain't growing up.
My defense is always like, you know what? The Hobbit was a children's book.
Yeah, you can tell too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was written for kids.
Yep.
So I mean, what's the difference?
Yeah, it's weird. Anyways, yeah, no, this fucking movie is awesome. Like, I didn't expect the story to end up being. It makes you think it's going to tell a story one way, and then it kind of changes and kind of converges and goes another way a little bit. And then there's like some major fucking Easter eggs in it, which was fucking some huge ass call outs, especially if you wait towards like near the end, like keep watching through a little bit. Pretty awesome, pretty crazy. And the concept's really neat in it. Like I can see some probably purists that are fans of like the Predator series maybe having some issue very minorly with it. And I only say that because there's always, you know, you can't please everybody, right? But I think the concept of it is good for storytelling. At least like I don't know if it's going to be like I'm sure it's canon at this point, but like consistent. I don't want to say anything because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but so I guess I really can't say it. So
does it like set up and end at like where AVP starts, or is it like what happened beforehand?
It definitely crosses more of the new mediums of this, I'll say.
Okay.
And some of the old. But it has also kind of Predators vibes as well too. If you've ever seen that one with Adrian Brody. Oh, yeah. You're gonna die. Oh, never mind.
Nope. Your turn. Not so lucky.
Yeah, so I just didn't expect it to link back to some other things the way that it did. So I mean, we get some answers on some things too, which is interesting. Which again, didn't expect that, and it's all kind of goes together. So yeah, it's a interesting, very, very interesting. But I think the big thing about it, the big takeaway for me is that, again, and I said this earlier in the, I think it was the Grown Ass Men Toys chat, that animation and anime are some of my favorite forms of medium, and they're able to convey, you know, certain action or certain really neat things that you just can't do in live action that are just as exciting. It's just that they're in animation, right? They're just cartoon. And of course the cartoon or the art style in this is unbelievable, you know. So and as somebody who is a fan personally, and you too technically, of like flight kind of combat stuff, one of the acts is something else. I'll put it to you like that.
What's interesting is when I think back in the history of films that I've watched and animes and stuff, when I think of the ones that like have emotionally impacted me, there's so many of them that are in that anime cartoon. I mean, I think Rebels, right? Like, how many times did you kind of like, oh, a little choked up here? That was a pretty powerful scene. Of course, I'm a huge Full Metal Alchemist fan, and it was Yeah,
Oh,
the story
Jesus.
arc in anime has higher stakes.
Yeah, yeah. I was just
sure.
gonna say, yeah, that's a good point, and I think that's why anime for me is some of my favorite to watch because like cartoon or not, like when you talk like anime generally, like like you take an anime series episode arc or whatever and compare that to like movie shit, like let's say some Western cinema, there's 9 chances out of the 10 where I'm gonna be way more drawn into like anime than some of that live action movie. And I can tell you, as like somebody who's a big Naruto fan, like when Saratobi, the third Hokage, dies in like the third season or whatever it was, or whatever
Spoiler
episode.
alert.
Shut up. I was like an emotional wreck for like a fucking day, and it was a goddamn anime character. You know what I mean? Like, but they do that. They do that all the time. They're so good. Like, you know, the Japanese tell such great stories and such great emotional arcs. Like you said, you're talking like Brotherhood's the same way. There's some crazy shit and we all know. We don't want to
Man.
say it, but we all know. We
Yeah.
all know. You know what I mean? And
Papa.
they just, yeah. Hey, shut up! Don't. They're just so good at telling story. And in their culture, you know, anime is their sitcom, is their, you know, drama.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Now, did you ever watch this new War of Rohirrim? That's one I have not watched either.
I have not, because I've seen a mixed on it. I just need to watch it. I think one of my problems is if it's not, I feel like it might end up falling into the Rings of Power shit where it's like fanfic, and I'm not gatekeeping with Lord of the Rings, but I am to a certain degree because the Tolkien family will or won't recognize that, and it's not part of true canon. If it's not part of true canon, I just don't know that I care, right? Like,
yeah,
I just too much liberty, because that's one of the nice things about when you get in Lord of the Rings, everything is already on bumpers and rails for the most part, how things are or aren't, and it's no extra arguments on like all these extra EU things. It's not like Star Wars where it's the wild west when it comes to like creating fan fiction or, you know, stories. That's why I like it separately from other things, because Lord of the Rings is what it is. And so when you add this other shit, it's sometimes a harder sell for me as well too. So yeah, no, I haven't. Long story short, I've seen mixed on it. I do definitely want to get back to it at some point. So Comradd says Hell's Paradise is an anime he loves because it's about a demon ninja warrior that married to a king's daughter that he loves, obeys, but realizes she's a demon at the end of the first season. That sounds
wow. I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, well, there's so much out there. Like I'm hearing about new anime all the time. So Hell's Paradise, that might be one I have to put kind of part to the
I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'll find one that hit me like Full Metal did. I don't know if it was because my first like mainstream, because like we grew up with like Inuyasha, Naruto, and Cowboy Bebop, and some of these, and those all hit very hard. It's very hard to find one that I'm like, yeah, this is that same level here. But I mean, I will say, like I said, I just finished Arcane season 2, and I know of 2 instances in that season where it hit me that I was just like, oh God,
right.
I didn't want that to happen. Like, you know, and I'm not even a League of Legends person. Like, it was just such great storytelling. So I find myself sometimes, because I watch a lot of these while I'm on my treadmill, and I find myself like putting my fist pumping up in the air and cheering on certain things, or laughing out loud. Like I look like an idiot.
And this goes also back to me, and I talked about this all the time, you know, how anime is so good at like in animation pulling raw emotion out of people based off their storytelling. This is why I have a hard time watching dubbed anime, is because for me personally, you get so much more emotion in a Japanese sub, because for whatever reason, it just feels like they're actually giving full emotion, where I feel like that's real. And when the Western folks and voice actors come in and do like voice acting for dubbed, it just sounds synthetic. Not everybody, but a lot of it sounds very synthetic. So it's very hard for me.
It depends on them.
I know. And listen, I understand, and I don't clown too hard on people on the dubbed. I sometimes will as a joke, but because they're like, well, hey, I like to clean the house and stuff like that, put in the background. I get it. I understand it. I do. I can't do it. It makes me want to vomit. I am literally to the point now where if it's a Japanese stylized game, like a Final Fantasy or really anything. Like I know there's a Digimon game coming out that I'm kind of eyeballing too. I play them in Japanese because I grew up reading anyways without no voice acting, right? So I put them in Japanese because it sounds better aesthetically with the visuals that I'm getting. And I'll just read it. So fuck it, right? You know, so yeah, dub waters it down. That's exactly how I feel about it, dude. Comrade's right on that. That's how it feels to me too. And like I said, I get it. That's different for everybody, you know. But the Western folk just don't convey emotion to me as well as the folks in the East. So,
well, the even the language difference, like Japanese has a bit more of as you would know more than me even, it has a rhythm to it, as where English just doesn't have that. So like the way it just rolls off the tongue as they're speaking and all that stuff, it just sounds a lot better.
There's often times when I'm doing my daily Japanese lessons that I have to re-listen once or twice because because sometimes things flow just so naturally that sometimes you miss like little connotations or whatever, like the was or the knees or the nays. I mean, there's a lot, right? Yeah, it just seems to flow better. But yeah, I can't, like I said, at the end of the day, anime just generally is like I tell everybody, listen, if I had the opportunity to watch more TV right now and choose to watch more TV outside a couple of like really good shows I know I need to watch, like Severance and Yellow Jackets and this shit, right? I would rather just watch anime all the time because I mean, it's more entertaining for me. I feel I get more invested in it. And because of the subtitles, and I know I have to pay attention because I can't fully speak and understand like Japanese like that yet, but it makes me keep engaged because I'm not on my phone as much. I have to not be on my phone, right? So it's a good break for me to actually disconnect a little too. So
Expedition 33.
Yeah, I know. We'll get to it one of these days. One of these days.
Before your Digimon game.
Oh, it's not till fall. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when I might. Maybe I keep saying maybe I'll play tonight. I mean, I got a wrestling pay-per-view, and now that the weather's nice, we can sit out in the back patio. It's so nice. It's so nice. I know.
Yeah, you're gonna need to get you a Rogue Ally or something, so you can just sit out and play these games.
Yeah, nah, that's all right. That's all right. But
but you got a toy today.
I've had them all week. I can't stop fucking playing with this thing, man. I mean, I went from like, well, of course, I didn't have a space to like have everything displayed anyways at the old place, and was waiting for that, and then decided to then get a divorce and change my life and have to get another basement. But I finally have it, and hey, what's up, collector? As well, we outside. Good to see you, brother. Hope you're well. Hope you're well. Zilla used to give me a lot of shit because I had so much stuff in boxes. Well, part of it was because I just didn't have anywhere to display it, and I know we should still open up and let it breathe. Well, now I'm at the point where like I'm pretty comfortable with most of that as well too. Yeah, that's perfect timing for me to even mention the Hulk when collector is definitely not a fan of this Hulk, who is fucking incredible. Yeah, I know you got your. I know your. Is that your Kirk?
No, it's my Carnor Jax.
Oh.
I'm just saying, I never opened any of my figures.
Yeah,
I don't let him breathe. Is he smiling like super big? Is that what's going on
he's
there?
Grinning. He grinning, man. He's been whooping out. Like, listen, and I love this fucking massive Gamerverse Venom here. But
that's not your new big one.
No. Not my toddler. He been whooping on his ass all fucking week. All the pictures, I'm just sitting around, just fucking around posing and stuff like that. I'm nothing serious. Like, I'm not trying to do Zilla photos and like quit my day job, but I'm just taking some smart ass shit around here. I do want to get some dials to take some good photos. I'm kind of looking into that, but everybody else, like collector, everybody in the grown-ass men community, they always taking these great shots, and I'm just like, I'm on my TV tray and these things are beating each other just because I'm enjoying posing them more than anything. But man, yeah, I can't stop fucking him. He's been whooping, like I said, he's been whooping Venom's ass all week, and this Venom is like, even Hulk being a big character, I mean, side by side, he's huge. He's fucking huge. It's great.
Now did Venom ever land on the Hulk Did he ever like symbiotic with the Hulk?
Yes, I think some of the Venomverse stuff. A lot of people got venomized at one point. I don't remember the details of the runs, but matter of fact, I'm gonna
Does
look
he
that up.
when he does that? Does he ask for consent?
No. Yeah, he probably should be in court.
Right.
He's basically hey,
he's kind of rapey.
He's kind of P Diddy, yeah. He kind of P Diddy's the shit out of him.
His core material, I think they released in the comic book, is actually baby oil.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The Venom symbiote bonded with Banner. Yeah, creating more powerful. I was gonna say too. I think during the Absolute Carnage, that was the storyline I couldn't think of that I thought was. Comrade, you have to like. I can't reach the box here, but it's got like a big symbiote arm thing that you can just wrap around like a figure too. Of course, all the different hands and different face, but man, it is. And I buy a lot of Venom anyways. I feel like, Venom's just one of those ones I buy. I'm just big fan. So this is one of the best Venom figures I've had, and I fucking love it, man. And it was an awesome moment in the Spider-Man 2 game. It's the biggest Venom that's ever pretty much I think existed at this point, just being a normal Venom. And oh shit.
And you broke it.
No, I'm knocking around. Then of course, spacesuit Venom from
I
Guardians.
thought that was Spawn.
No, he's over here chilling too. I just been fucking playing on, and I got that fucking NECA alien too. So yeah, it's been fucking around all week. But yeah, I literally just like I'll sit there watching TV and I'm just posing the Hulk and putting different shit on him and stuff like that. So, but I got some photos out there. Either way, good stuff. Yeah. So yeah, it's great figure, and like I don't have a lot of basis for comparison, so a lot of folks in the community it's been kind of split on that King of Black Street. Oh my god, I'm missing all the fucking comments. Look at me. I should probably learn to scroll.
Shout out to Hasbro for not making it back. Right? Oh, you're gonna send us down the spiral on Black Series figures, man. Like Tone knows, and we've talked about this a few times. I've sworn off Black Series until I get a large scale HK-47 Black Series that's not a Boba Fett variant, like because that's all they do on Black Series anymore. It's never gonna happen. No, because we've got to put out Zalbar. Looks terrible. Or we got to put out like
it's a pretty shitty Wookiee mold. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, or we got to put out this weirdly dumb looking Chrysanthemum, and like it looks awful.
Well, they walked that back and were saying, "Oh, it's based off the comics," and he was just in the Boba Fett show,
right?
Like, that's okay, great guys. So that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna mold out some character that was just on TV and then say, "Oh, sorry, it looks like shit. It's from the comics." What a dumb fucking choice. I don't know. And I was bummed that Hasbro renewed again with Star Wars on that too. Yeah. Yep.
I miss old Black Series when there were like exclusives that popped up at Walgreens and like all that kind of stuff. That was the good Black Series.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of exclusives. I think it's all bullshit. And I worked at GameStop and I thought it was bullshit. I fucking hated it because there were some figures that I still never got that I had wanted that Walmart got exclusively. Because like during like right around still like the pandemic, some of that shit became so hard to find. And like this week they had the Gamerverse for Marvel vs. Capcom figures drop, and like some of these figures yesterday that dropped, whether it was the Psylocke Thanos pack, right, guys? They were sold out in like 8 minutes in some places. People were saying like, I don't think anybody that wanted them got them.
And no, well, that's the freaking scalpers.
Well, they're already running like 149. I saw even to this morning. I don't know if it's even changed from that. And I want some of the figures in this pack. So now I'm sweating bullets because when there's ones I want, I'm like, well, fuck, am I not going to be able to get them? Because there's only a couple that I really I need that blue Venom. I need that Shuma really bad. I think that's really about it, like from this main pack. I want that Jugs too. I gotta have that Juggernaut. That Juggernaut's too dope. That Juggernaut's way too dope for that. I gotta have that. But they're really cool. You played the old Marvel's Capcoms, right?
Oh, Madison? Yeah. Yep.
Some price changes these companies are gonna go through with them. Yeah. changes these companies are going through with ownership for the consumer. I mean, I don't fucking understand how there isn't, and the problem is we're all consuming eating it anyways. We're eating shit. You know what I mean? When it comes to this stuff. Oh yeah. You talking the game systems? I thought you were talking like the continued like figure price hikes and stuff like that. The biggest problem with like the game system shit is exactly that, because now and mobile's already kind of like that too, right? Well, the big one recently was Nintendo came out basically and said, yeah, if you mod your system that you own and paid and bought for, we're gonna brick it on you, kind of thing, which is very Nintendo of them.
Yeah.
It's very like Microsoft to be the first one to jump in there and go, hey, we're gonna raise the prices on all the systems because of tariffs and everything. You guys, they can't sell a fucking system to 6-year-old Billy because he doesn't give a shit because there's shit for games on it. So you already can't sell your system. So yeah, go ahead and jack up the prices, see what happens. But Microsoft doesn't want to be in the hardware game anymore anyways. They want to just continue to throw out Game Pass, make software, and again, kind of like you're saying, it's almost like you don't have ownership at that point. They don't want to make systems. They haven't want to make systems since like 360 or even before. They want to get in your media. They want to be a centralized media station for you. And now they can do it with things like Gamer Pass or whatever, because you can even buy like Game Pass on a TV and just buy a controller, right? That don't cost nothing except for controller stuff. And their controllers are so fucking cheaply made. If somebody's got both systems, I can drop my Xbox controller and good chance it's going to shatter like a glass. I can drop my PS5 one and it won't, so those are so easily made. But now with all the tariffs and shit, like they can't get away with paying some fucking kid in Thailand $5 in a McDonald's Big Mac coupon to make a controller. They got to actually pay more, or whatever on end. Consumers were going to eat it. So, I don't know. The gaming industry has been eating itself from the inside out for a long time. They all just want they've always wanted the next Grand Theft Auto online shark card payments, basically. It's all MOBA at that point. They want just to put out shitty ass shovelware, get people to, they don't care if it's a good game or not, but if they can get you on to spend $10 every other week on it, then they've done what they needed to do, so, Sony, I think, announced that they weren't initially doing any price hikes on systems, but I think they were actually, matter of fact, doing the opposite. They were doing like either like a price drop or a bundle price or something like that, trying to make it a little bit better on the consumer. Again, I don't know if that'll stick, but we'll see, right? So Sony did let's come back to the comments here. They 75 just to get us back invested on the whole change. Yeah, and that's, well, and honestly, as silly as this is, and the reality is that they've been waffle stomping Microsoft in the console game since the Xbox One drop, when the PS4 dropped in 2013. That started the trajectory. And what was it? Phil Spencer said it, I believe, best, is that during that era when everybody was building a digital library and they tripped out the gate and fell flat on their face, that was a critical era for Microsoft to, also either stay at least ahead of the game or with the game with Sony, and they didn't. And that's kind of what kind of put them in the place they're at, because they haven't been able to recover literally since. I mean, what, PS5s are selling 3-1 still now versus Xbox. And hey, granted, like the Gamer Pass is a good deal for people because you can get games on there for $14-20 a month, whatever. But I also will say, like, most of them games are shit. It's not like you're getting a ton of AAA titles. You might every other year if Microsoft drops something, or maybe a third party title, right? But 90% of the games you get on Game Pass that you're paying $20 for are like B, C games, So when people go, oh, this is fucking great, we get all these games for this price. Awesome, dude. You're getting bullshit games that go on sale all the fucking time too. So
outside of the day one exclusives. I mean, they did get Expedition 33 and Doom
and Doom and things like that. But like that happens so little, right?
Yeah. And, I think their money, like, I'd love to see what their proportion of people that get Game Pass just that are exclusively on like PC, because I feel like that's mainly PC customers rather than console customers.
Yeah. Is anyone really making money in this economy? I doubt game developers are making out, but no. Matter of fact, I got a buddy that's in the he's a developer in the gaming industry, and yeah, we've been dealing with layoffs in that industry all year and even the year before. So it's coming. It's definitely tough for a lot of people out there right now in that industry. Honestly, the people that are doing the most right now are the indie guys, the guys that are doing like obscure 33, 37.
Claire Obscura Expedition 33.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, and then it's just like the movie industry right now in that regards, because you're talking about revamping the game classics and shit. Nobody feels comfortable putting out new IPs and stuff if you're a major studio, because you're going to put all this money into something that's going to take a chance, and then what happens? It bombs, and you're out that money. Everything's about shareholders and money right now, and if you ain't in those seats, the rest of us down here eating breadcrumbs and playing Hunger Games, and whistling at each other or whatever. So it's bullshit. But yeah, the movie industry, is eating itself out too badly. It's all just fucking reboots, rehashes, remakes, reimaginings, and all this shit. I mean, and I'm a Disney guy. Like I'm a big fan of Disney, but like, look at them. They don't put out new shit at all. The live action versions of their cartoons that half the time get people on a tizzy or flop, right? Or they're bringing Freaky Friday back. You bring Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan's coked out ass. I don't think she's that mess.
I think she's clean now. Yeah,
she's clean now. Yeah, she took a shower at least. So they're bringing that back instead of doing anything new. It's too risky these days because again, it comes down to shareholders. If they don't get for sure profit and returns on this shit, they're just not doing it. They're just not doing it. What? You shit your pants?
No, look at the little comment you just put.
Oh, I'll run a show for you sometime, and I'll trash that game for you anytime you want, comrade. I will wipe my ass at that game 44 times left of Sunday. So
yeah, well, we got to leave it up to the indie developers.
And they are working on a 4, by the way. I think they did announce 4. Yeah. So,
but like as someone who games a lot on PC, I get quadruple the playtime out of an indie title than I do any kind of thing from a AAA studio
nowadays. Yeah, nowadays for sure.
And pay $15 to $20 for it or less. So
I know.
Don't crush my dreams.
Hey, well, then I'll have you. Maybe I should have you on sometime, and then without looking it up, you can explain to me the fucking story of that series because nobody has been able to. They can explain the first one, but to coherently explain where that thought process or where that story is meant to go in Kingdom Hearts, nobody can do it. Because you know what I did? I remember my favorite part about that series is when I bought the second one, because I liked the first one a lot. I loved the concept. What I didn't like is how they made the Final Fantasy characters look like weak cartoon versions of themselves, except for like Sephiroth or Cloud, right? They should have just made a Disney RPG and left the Final Fantasy characters out. It didn't need to be a fucking crossover. You didn't need those characters in there. It minimalizes their impact on the games they've been in. Should have just been, if it was just a Disney RPG, would have been fine. You got human people like Sora who has Goofy's fucking feet. Nobody's addressed that at all in 34 years. Whatever. How long has it been now? About 20 years, I think, for the first Kingdom Hearts drop. By the way, your human character Sora has feet the size of fucking Goofy. They ain't gonna have us take his shoes off because you visually can't make that because people would fucking tear their eyeballs out by seeing it, right? First of all, what the fuck is with that, right? Secondly, I get the second game out. I open it up. I'm like, oh man, I'm excited to continue. You never noticed Sora's feet? Look it up. You're gonna freak out. I opened the second game up. I'm like, I'm getting ready to continue the story with Sora. What the fuck is this Roxas bullshit? Where the fuck is Sora? And they can't even explain it properly in that game. They try to. It's his... I mean, I don't even remember at this point. But then you had to buy the DS game. Not that everybody had a DS to play the game, to figure out some side story what happened to Sora. And then finally, 15 years later, they put it all, I think, on one disc so everybody can understand it. Like, they just wanted to make a fucking game that felt like an epic Final Fantasy story, and I think there were some licensing issues at one point with like 3. And it just couldn't figure. I mean, you don't have to try and make a story fucking interesting just to make it interesting. Just make an interesting story, and the story is just so fucking dumb. It's like literally how Star Wars did the sequel trilogy. They bought Star Wars and goes, oh great, now we can put out some Star Wars films and make some movies. And the guy that says, hey, why don't we sit down for like a year and come up with a great story arc so we can get these out? Disney goes, no, we want to put it out so we can start making some Star Wars movies and get some merchandise. That's how Kingdom Hearts feels. It's a hot ass mess. Hot ass mess. Hot ass mess. And then Sora's feet. Let's talk about Sora's feet. No, let's not talk about Sora's feet. I'm sorry. He brought up Kingdom Hearts, Drasten.
Are you done, Dad?
You know it's a trigger for me.
I know. As soon as I saw it, I thought,
it's an absolute trigger for me.
Let's go ahead and timestamp this.
It is it is my number one, probably most hated video game franchise, and that's coming from a big Square Enix, Squaresoft, Final Fantasy fan growing up.
They should have just done a Disney style of like Mario RPG. Like Mario RPG was fantastic.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they did. They definitely needed some Asian influence. I agree with that 100%. And it's funny because Square Enix is an Eastern company, right? So they should have been able to do that. Yeah, Comrade's like he never knew it was a trigger. And not a lot of people these days knew, because I don't play games as much as I used to. I don't talk about games as much as I used to either. So slow roasted soda before his eyes. Yeah, well, yeah, I definitely. It is a trigger, and it's so funny that came up. I didn't even see the chat, and that's why Drasten's like, uh-oh. I'm having a hard time. I'm still trying to learn this EV Mux fun stuff as well, so I'm working on it. We're getting there. We are getting there. Sora and his feet. Well, I just threw my earbuds out of my head for a moment, but well, hey, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, Drasten, today. I know you got probably some really important things to do.
There's a few things. Mainly got to go to the store and stuff.
Yeah. I don't have a whole much left to do. Just gonna chill for a little bit, I think. So
there's a whole list, Comrade.
I've got Kingdom Hearts is definitely. What else are triggers for me, Drasten? Because
the new Crow movie, Mortal Kombat in general.
The Mortal Kombat HBO movie that they're doing a sequel to. Yep, that's a trigger. That's a trigger.
Arc.
Arc's a trigger. Yeah, but a lot of those don't, like, outside the Mortal Kombat movie. Kingdom Hearts is like
it's up there
echelon trigger for me. Like, and look how just by the name of it, I went on a tangent. It's like I literally hulked out for a minute. I went from Banner to the Incredible Hulk right away on it. Like I just went fucking totally saw red on it, and I just can't even control myself. I can't, but I recognize that it is a problem. So, awesome. Well, hey, I'll let you back to your Saturday. I appreciate us waiting for the chance to be able to check out this Sprite and then just kind of chill and vibe today. That's always the plan for the World Accordion Tone, and that's what this is. World Accordion Tone is always just going to be something. There's no real. I got the banner here that says something of a blurb of it, right? But it certainly can be that much more. It's definitely always random at the very least. I should probably do some painting today. I got to finish this stupid ship that I haven't finished yet. So, but as we close it out here, Drasten, where can everybody find you, my good sir?
You can find me Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/7dungeons or YouTube /@7dungeons for homebrew D&D adventures. We are off this next week because I'm traveling for work, but then we will be back. So
I thought you were going to be off again this week. Okay.
Yes, it's a rough June.
Yeah, I know. So say, like, you guys are hardly streaming. Need to get some more of the content out there. Maybe we should record some stuff, but you're not going to have time for that either. So
I'm going to be out of town, like leaving on an airplane.
Whatever. No, make sure to check our buddy Seven Dungeons. Excuse me, Jesus Christ. I'm used to my spiel. It messed up my cadence.
No, check that guy out too. He's pretty good.
Yeah. Check that Drasten. He almost killed me the other day. Make sure to check out Half-Ass Beer Review periodically throughout the week. He's dropping some content with that craft beer reviews. Tomorrow we're supposed to go and do some preview content. Hopefully, let's see. I know we're both pretty busy. He's got kids and stuff, so hopefully it works out. We're going to get some more content recorded. And then to keep checking out the channel here for me or the Dude 79. He's supposed to get some video game streams out here soon. He's been too busy playing the Switch 2. And also, his kids are doing the sports thing. So, but he should have some game streams hopefully out this week. As far as me, anything else coming up in the near future, I might put something together for the middle of the week or something like that, just for shits and gigs, even if it's just getting on here, painting, and running my mouth about something. There's a couple of roundtable discussions that are already in early talks that we're getting put together here as well. Trying to get Zilla on. Some people have requested Zilla for a roundtable discussion because they got some questions about customizing and stuff. So we're going to try and get that figured out when we can do that. Other than that, make sure to check out our pals, Truth Beer Consequences. They're dropping those Cincinnati brew podcasts throughout the week as well. I believe later in the week, Fridays, right? And they're talking about, checking out those craft beer folks in the Cincinnati area. And then, of course, I got to make a big shout out to Grown Ass Men Toys and all their content throughout the week. Drasten's dying now. I'm telling you, it's coming back around. Karma, bitch. Karma.
Just being old.
Right. Typically, you can check out Grown Ass Men Toys. Listen, they are putting out content almost every day of the fucking week. So make sure to keep up with them. Follow them on YouTube. You'll see the link here in the description when I get around to that later today. Make sure to give them some love. They're doing work out there. It's a very fun, welcoming community. Tuesday nights, you got the Raw Wrestling recap with Zilla. Then you got Thursday night's Collector's Corner. That's a fun vibe as well, just to kind of chill. They're usually, playing with toys, talking about new toys, announcements, photos, and just all kinds of fun stuff. It's a real fun time. And then of course Sundays, typically you can check them out doing toy room tours as well. So been having a lot of fun getting to know the entire community there. So appreciate you guys, Comrade, as well, for being in here and Collector. So, but hey, that's it. That's World According to Tone for this Saturday. Appreciate you again, Drasten, for jumping in here for a little bit of a vibe session. I'm going to go try and, I guess maybe be productive. I don't know. We'll see. I might figure it out. Or
don't forget your insulin shot.
Yeah. After this fucking Sprite, I don't want to lose my foot. Or I might start drinking. I don't fucking know, but the Money in the Bank pay-per-view is tonight. So we're going to chill either way, but, appreciate everybody. I hope to see you all soon. Watch those socials, follow Banter and Babble, Fanboy Tone on all socials out there too. And if you're listening to this or, even just checking out this in post, make sure please like, comment, and share. For your boy Fanboy Tone and my good buddy Drasten, see you later.
See ya.